Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. For today's recipe, we're making taco suadero. This is one of the most popular street tacos in many parts of Mexico. They're right up there with tacos al pastor and birria. And today we're going to show you a quick and easy way on how you can prepare these at home. So let's gather up our ingredients and let's get started. First, we're going to go over the ingredients. To cook the meat, we're going to need 9 ounces of chorizo or longaniza, 5 peppercorns, 1.5 sticks of cinnamon, and 1 large hoja santa. If you can't find hoja santa, you can replace it with 4 bay leaves. Salt to season the meat. Depending on how much meat you're going to be using, you're going to need about 1 to 2 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 medium-sized white onion cut in half, and 4 large garlic cloves. And for the meat, we're going to be using 10 pounds of brisket. After removing the meat from the packaging, we're going to take it over to the sink and give it a good rinse. Then we're going to begin to slice it into smaller pieces. This is not only going to help it fit better into the Instant Pot, but it's also going to help it cook a little bit faster. We're going to cut it into about 3 to 4 inch pieces. My husband, who is assisting me today, he's going to help me slice the meat. He was very excited about this recipe because this was actually his idea. He definitely loves his tacos. And the brisket is probably the best cut of meat that you can use for these tacos because it has a lot of meat and a nice layer of fat. The fat, you definitely want to keep it on there because that's what's going to give it that great flavor. Once he's done cutting the meat, we're going to begin to season it with salt. And for that, we're going to need a large baking dish or a large bowl. Add a small layer of salt to the bottom of the bowl or your baking dish. Then add 1 layer of the meat. Once you have the first layer, season it with more salt and repeat the process with the remainder of the meat until you're all done. For the amount of meat that we're making, I used about 2 tablespoons of salt, but that could vary depending on how much salt you want to add or how much meat you're making. To the top layer of meat, we're going to rub in the salt to help it penetrate into the meat as we're preparing the Instant Pot. We're going to turn on the Instant Pot to manual. Once it's nice and hot, we're going to add about half a cup of lard. Yes, I did say lard. When making tacos, fat is flavor. You can add less of the lard or leave it out completely, but if you want nice flavorful tacos, you definitely want to add the manteca because that's what's going to give it that great flavor, especially these tacos. Once the manteca is completely melted, we're going to begin to arrange the meat around the Instant Pot, just like if we were making tamales. Once we have the first layer of meat arranged around the Instant Pot, we're going to place the chorizo right in the middle. As it's cooking, the chorizo is going to release its flavors and it's going to penetrate into the meat. We're going to continue to layer the meat until we're all done. The 10 pounds of meat that we use fit perfectly into the Instant Pot. I'm using an 8-quart Instant Pot just so you can get an idea of how much meat the Instant Pot can hold. We're going to continue to arrange the remainder of the meat into the Instant Pot, and as we're doing so, we're going to create a small crater in the middle. In this small crater that we created, we're going to add the remainder of the ingredients: the onion, the garlic cloves, the cinnamon, the peppercorn, and the hoja santa, or the bay leaves if you're using bay leaves. And for the last ingredient, we're going to sprinkle the 2 teaspoons of cumin right on top. And that is it. We're gonna close it up and we're gonna set the timer for 60 minutes and then we'll come back and check on it. While we're waiting for the meat, we're gonna prepare our salsas and the toppings. For the creamy avocado salsa, we're gonna boil 5 serrano peppers and 6 regular jalapenos. Once they cool down, we're gonna transfer them to the blender along with 1/4 of an onion, 2 garlic cloves, 3 ripe avocados, salt. Blend it all up and you're gonna have a nice creamy avocado salsa. And for the toppings, we're gonna go with the traditional toppings of onion and cilantro. We're also gonna slice up a few radishes. You can also use any other toppings that you prefer. It's been a little bit over an hour. We're gonna check on the Instapot. Before you open it, you wanna make sure you release the lever to release some of that steam. Don't open it before then, because otherwise you can seriously burn yourself. And now for the big reveal. We're gonna remove the lid very carefully, and look at that. This is definitely done. Now we're gonna fish out the onion and the garlic. We're gonna remove a few pieces and we're gonna take it over to the cutting board. We're gonna chop the meat and look at that. It's coming apart with very little effort. As we're chopping the meat, we're gonna transfer it to a large skillet with a lid. We're gonna continue with the rest of the meat until we're all done. Once it's nicely chopped, we're gonna add some of the broth over the meat. For the amount of meat that we have, I'm gonna add about 2 cups of the broth. You definitely want to add the broth because that's what has all the flavor from the onion, the garlic, the chorizo, and all the other seasonings that we added. This is not only going to add great flavor to the meat, but it's also going to help your meat to stay warm and keep it from drying up. So if you do have leftovers and you go to reheat it, your meat is still going to be nice and moist. To heat up your tortillas, you can heat them up on a separate skillet, but we're just going to place them over the meat so some of the juice from the meat can penetrate into the tortillas. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to make some tacos. And to prepare these tacos, we're going to use a double tortilla. Add a good amount of the meat. Add your favorite toppings. A taco is never complete without salsa. Add your favorite salsa, add as little or as much as you want, and enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing us in your home today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it for you. And if you're new to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that little bell so you can receive a notification each time we upload a new video. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching.